Hey guys, it's Animatron again. I'm going to show you, for those of you that have not experienced it yet, the UCH Research vessel, what you can do on it, the things that you can learn, and the things that you can take. The UCH is the organization that you came with to the sector when your Earth Confederacy created its own warp engines based on alien technology, and they crashed into the Andromeda Galaxy, bothered some Xerax, and got attacked. So you will find UCH research vessels in primarily neutral space, open space, territory that's not owned by anybody. For example, here, out in the middle of nowhere. I'm at an M class, which really doesn't make any difference because the UCH vessels can be at any class of star, and it shows up as a kind of a blue triangle, whereas the exploration sectors are a light green. This one over here is a mining site, and they also have sites for battle. Any rate, I'm almost at the ship right now. I've got some encrypted data chips, some flawed data chips. I've got a navigation data that I picked up from some of the sites, and you can use them or sell them, all of them, at the UCH research vessel. So once you reach maximum warp range based upon your server's capabilities, and you don't feel like giving away the nav data, you can come over here and sell it. So I'm going to bring my, let's see, I think I got this one unlocked. I'll bring it anyway, just in case. Sentinel Flak Turret, I'll bring it just in case. Appleseed Bruise, I know I got that one. I know I got that one. Large Vulcan Turret. We'll bring them just in case to see if I don't have any of them unlocked, and I'm fairly certain I already do. It'll also give us a chance to possibly sell one or more to the guys inside. Pardon me, ladies. So where that desk is over there is where the foreman's at. If you've never been to one, you're probably still in the beginning stages of the game. This guy right here will be able to sell you, after you get supplies from him, we'll be able to sell you occasionally data chips, data pads, nav data, stuff like that. So he doesn't have the data chips, but he has the data pads. You have the option of buying or selling if he's got any nav data, which I have one in my ship, and exploration data, which isn't used. It says right there it has no use, but you can sell it to him for 10 grand. And technical artifacts, which you can actually purchase or receive as a prize from the province of Far, F-A-R-R. But beside that, let's grab some of my data. I'm going to sell my nav data. Now I currently have, just so you guys see this, I currently have just about everything unlocked, and I've still got 7,200 unlocked points. You get those points from those chips and the pads. I wish to trade, so this one gives you 100 unlocked points, which I'm already maxed out on, but I won't sell these. I will turn those into the research table upstairs, but I will sell the nav data because I don't need it. And it sells for 52,000, where someone else, if they want to come and buy it, it sells for about, I think it's 400,000. And then the data pad is just for unlock points, so I will sell the data pad for 20 grand. And leave this guy, go over to the schematics trader, You can ask him where to find them. I have yet to be lucky enough to find schematics on ships and cargo boxes, but it does happen. So up here on the top, he can sell you a Sentinel flak turret for $482,000. That's the schematic for it, so you can make it. The MX4 rapid torpedo launcher for almost $1 million, and the LX2 prototype light railgun for $2 million. Now, mind you, every single UCH Research vessel has a slightly different cost. It's about the same. I did a check, and it varies anywhere between 100,000 to tens of thousands, depending upon the cost of the item. It's a percentage difference. But then you see I've got Appleseed Bruiser. I already know I've got this one unlocked, so I can go down here to automated ice mining rig, and I can sell that for $377. I can go to advanced bandages, which I know I've already unlocked, and I can sell them for $57.3 each. I've got the Sentinel flak turret and the large Vulcan turret, which I already know I've got. So large Vulcan turret sells for $120, and the Sentinel flak turret sells for $49. Now let's take the other two, and the data pads go up to the lab. We're going to go over to the third station. This is for unlocking schematics and decoding encrypted schematics. I showed you about this in one of my previous videos. If you get an encrypted schematic, it'll have a question mark on it instead of an actual picture. So for example, these both have pictures on them, and the ones in my inventory, they all have pictures on them because I've unlocked them all. I have the science station on the ship. I can unlock encrypted schematics from my ship so that I already have them ready to go when I get here. So the ones that I have in my inventory are a civilian technology and an alien technology. So you go back into this console and you say civilian. There's nothing here, which means that I already unlocked the one that I have in my inventory. Then I go to alien. There's nothing in here, so that means I already unlocked that one. So I'm good to go to sell those two, and then we're going to switch over here to the research computer, and I'm going to turn in the data chips, and I already sold the data pads and nav data, so I wouldn't be able to use the nav data anyway, because the nav data gives you a maximum of 50 that can be turned in. I've already hit that. It says I have currently a 50-year light year increase to my base warp range. You may turn in up to 0 additional navigational data. So I've already turned in 50. And so everything else I'm just going to get money for. But in my inventory I have 14 of the flawed, 2 pristine, and 44 encrypted. So data chips, encrypted, 44, flawed, I think it was 14, and pristine was 2. Now you can look up here and you see that I now have 134, and I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to answer the phone. Don't have any more data chips, but if you see here, I've got I just earned 200,000 credits, got 20 research points and 200 unlock points, and I currently have 134 progenitor research points. So I can go back to the main menu and I can spend my research points. Now, and I don't know if any of you know this, but progenitor is an area of space that is part of a quest. And in order to get to that area of space, you have to have a translation matrix to unlock the warp drive. And the warp drive is basically just a teleporter. You can't put a ship inside of it. You have to bring something that you can spawn once you get there, because you're only transporting your body. You're not transporting anything else other than yourself and what you've got in your inventory. You can also use 50 points to purchase nav data, which I don't recommend. I do recommend, however, spending any of your data chips, your research points on encrypted schematics, because if you do this, then you run the chance of getting something really rare, or at the very least something that you don't have yet. So you go back to the research table, the schematic computer, and you decode. It makes you go back and you decode again, because I purchased 2 of them. It tells you here that I don't have any more in my inventory. So I'm going to look in my inventory, and I got more apple seed brews. Isn't that wonderful? I still don't know where to make those. I got to figure that out and see what I can get for them. May not even be active right at the moment because of RE2. I do remember them in RE1. So we're going to trade with this guy. We're going to go down here and find apple seed brews wherever they're at. If these got them, there they are. And I'm going to sell all 3 of the apple seed brews. I just sold them for 63,000 each, and I'm going to sell. No, I think I'll keep the incendiary minigun. But let's see. Does he even have that? Yes, he does, right there. The incendiary minigun sells for 58,000. So I'm going to keep that stuff. And oh, let's take a trip over here. This is the front of the ship where the bridge is. This is the captain. You can talk to her and you can ask for missions and such. The guy that's in there with the yellow arrow over his head, he doesn't do anything. It's not enacted yet. This one over here is for admins, so that you can change stuff in the room. I don't own this server, so I can't change anything. This is the lab area again. Give you a reference of where it's at. We're going to go back down. We're going to go to the other side. On the same side as the foreman of the ship. And here you basically got a restaurant. You've got some growing hydroponics. You're allowed to come up here and take this fruit, 36 of them to be exact. And you're allowed to come over here and take this grain, 45 of them to be exact. These guys just talk to you about hydroponics. Inside these refrigerators should be 1 ice each. Excuse me. And then over here in the kitchens, there should be some goodies. Ooh, alcohol. That's a commodity. And some food. Isn't that great? Can't do anything else in here. You can sit down at the chair. Not that I would want to do that because I'm not interested. And the rooms that are in here, a long time ago, they used to have stuff in the chests. There's nothing in the chests anymore because they took that out. I think it was a respawn thing. There's an armory that you can't do anything in, but you can use the armor lockers if you don't have one on your ship. And I believe you can use, you can use all the medical tables, all the medical instruments that are in this, including the bed, which restores your fatigue, but you're not losing any, so it doesn't matter. And that's basically it. The chests around here you can access. If you wanted to use them to store stuff, you could, but everybody else can access them as well. So I don't recommend that. And that's it for the UCH vessel. You can talk to, actually, you know what? Let's go back, because I did miss a certain table, and I feel bad. So we'll go back up, and we'll talk to the guy in the center. This is where you can get one of the most lucrative quest lines without actually having the quest. Do you have any exploration rumors for me? Sure. There are missions. These are not missions, so they won't be tracked on your PDA, right? And he's got a list of them here. Mysterious object in a rogue system, and strange statues, and alien data caches in space. I've done some of the alien data caches in space. I haven't done them all. The strange statues is a really good one because it ends up sending you to the region of Far, which I will show you where that's at. So it's behind Polaris, right there, Golden Province, Far. So the strange statue one, it'll take you to just temperate planets, or you'll want to go to just temperate planets, and you're looking for basically a Talon statue. it'll be a small stone foo dog looking like thing, like an Asian statue of a four-legged lion, dragon, whatever you want to call it, and you go through all of them until your PDA comes up and says analyze the data, and then it sends you out and it has you check some things, and then it sends you over to the area of far for the far homeworld. And once you've done that, it gives you, sorry for the spoiler, you can shut me off now if you want to, but I don't see why. Go down to weapons and tools, and this is the golden rule. It's a plasma cannon of FAR design that can only be recharged back on the FAR archives on Parthix, the name of the planet, for a fee of 100,000 credits. So I'll probably never use this. I'll just keep it in my inventory, and if the game ever comes up with a weapon mount or something like that, then I'll mount it. But see, these are some of the things that I've picked up in some of the caches and such that I've opened up. But that one gives you some treasure. It gives you these guys, the technical artifacts. It gives you a bunch of other stuff which you can sell here or you can sell to other people. Going back in to the rumors, the rogue system. So the mysterious object 82, which is in the starting system rogue, if you go to it and look for object 82 in that sector, you'll walk up to it or you'll fly up to it, and there'll be 4 doors. Each door requires a different key, and it'll tell you that there's 4 more objects. So if you go to your map and you do a search and you type in type object, no, take that back, name object 82. There. If I take away the 82, it shows me all the objects. So a spoiler again, you can shut me off if you want to, but object 1, 13, 4, and 42 and 276 are the 4 individual keys that you need in order to open up object 82. When you open up object 82 and unlock the switches that are inside, you'll get a whole bunch of really good stuff, including this advanced heavy armor, which is not for sale in any shop anywhere in the galaxy. If you gather a whole bunch of those by doing object 82 over and over again, if your server does a reset, then you can make a collection of those and sell them at any space station that buys armor. And I do believe that's the last of what I need to tell you about, so I'm going to bid you a fond farewell. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.